Okay, happy Monday, you guys. We are live. We're going to get started in a couple minutes. Let me just hold on one second. Hopefully, you guys having a good weekend. There's the notification. Let's see. Okay, so hopefully you guys had a great weekend. We got to talk about what went down in today's episodes. Both the young and the restless and the bold and the beautiful. Hey Melissa, what's going on, lady? How are you? How are you? How are you? Hey Aisha, hey Keita, T.A., LaShanta. Hey Bree girl, hola, hola, happy Monday to you too. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. All right, let's see. Melinda Pierce. Okay, we got 20 of you guys in here. So welcome you guys to Soap Corner Talk. We're going to have a little bit of a discussion pretty quickly about both the young and the restless and the bold and the beautiful. We are talking about the October 14th episode. And we're going to talk a little bit about Audra and Lily being in the same boat at this point. And you would think after going through all that they would give up, but obviously not. And then, does Brooke actually have the wrong idea? I mean, we know what we saw, but is she actually onto something, or is she about to blow this up spectacularly? So we're going to talk about it. So let's go ahead and jump into Young and the Restless. We had a few things going on. The biggest things that stood out to me today is the situation with Audra and Lily. So we all know Audra got fired last week thinking that she can do a deal with with Victor Newman, and pretty much we had Nate blowing up her ego to make her feel better instead of saying, listen, sweetheart, I tried to tell you. I've been through it before myself and you should have listened to me. But no, he gives her this whole talk in the mirror about how she's this wonderful person and she's so great and she's so spectacular and blah, 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 blah. However, instead of saying you didn't make a good business move, ma'am, I think maybe she should got a dose of her reality. And in her mind, she's not done yet. You know, and I'm like, I mean, what did you expect, Audra? What did you expect? I mean, did you actually expect that you were just going to run this the way you wanted to run this company, only to have Victor Newman just sit in the corner, shut up and be quiet and just give you the money? No, that's not how Victor Newman works. And Nate tried to tell you, but you didn't listen. She went on that whole rant about, see, you only telling me this because I'm a woman. If this was somebody else, you wouldn't say that. No, he was trying to tell you the truth. And the truth hit you in the face. And unfortunately, you are unemployed. So, exactly, Blackpink me. He is definitely being a simp, a super simp. Jenna said this was a stupid episode. Bree called Audra and Lily the pitiful twins. I'm sitting up there looking at her like, girl, just realize where you went wrong. You claimed that you was this astute business person. Hey, Miss Welder, you're an astute business person, and part of your strategy is to figure out whether you have autonomy or not. And when you give 51% to someone else and you are in the minority category of being a business owner, guess what? You don't call the shots. They do. And unfortunately, by Victor making a decision, you got fired. You put yourself in this position, ma'am. And Nate, the super simp, ain't doing nothing but blowing up her ego instead of saying, listen, Maybe you need to figure out something else to do. Take this as an L and remember to do something different next time. But no, she wants to just, I need you to feed my ego. I want to tap into my Hope Logan and tell me that I'm just great. And, give me all the attention I need to make me feel better. I don't know if you ever watched that movie Players Club. I don't know if you remember the guy in the wheelchair, and I forgot who was the actor that pushed him around, and he was like, do something to make me feel better. Well, obviously Audra wanted Nate to do something to make her feel better. And that was to feed her ego and to give her some eggplant. Now, unfortunately for us, we did not get privy to that scene. Unfortunately, they went to a commercial and we didn't get any romance once again on The Young and the Restless. As much as I think that he was simping and Audra was absorbing all of that information in, we didn't get any romance. They fell down on the bed and then they went to a commercial. So, yeah. Yeah, they really dropped the ball on that again. Nate and Liam are on. Bree says Nate and Liam are one and the same at this point. Exactly. Another person we got to talk about is none other than Lily Winters. And she got egg on her face when she found out the truth last week that she was getting played by the same family, but not only Victor, but also, Nikki. And as Bree would call it, Lily was just doing everything she could to polish up that seat for Nikki. That's even if they get that seat, as they haven't made any movement in acquiring that company. But Lily found out she was getting played. Well, ma'am, you played yourself. You gave information away without any insurance. So if you don't have any insurance, guess what? You're going to be left in the cold. And guess what? You're left in the cold. Now, she goes back like that picture at the top upper right-hand corner where she tells her brother Devon. And she was like, I got played. Don't cry now. Devon tried to tell you. Nate tried to tell you. And you didn't want to listen. And you did the same card. She did the same card that Audra did with, you don't trust my abilities, and you acting like I don't know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, what you're doing is putting yourself right in the same line at the unemployment office with Audra. But unfortunately, she didn't listen to her brother, because her brother told her, you know what? Why don't you come over and work with our family legacy? She was like, no, I put too much heart, blood, sweat, and tears, into that company, and I'm not going to let it go. And he's like, are you serious right now? And I think all of the fans are you serious right now, Lily? I mean, she was still talking about, I thought that Victor respected our family. Girl, Victor cares about himself. And in some cases, he will go against his own family if it doesn't work with whatever he wants to do. You are not a special snowflake. Jacqueline says, Lily don't want to listen. See what she would get soon when Kyle is next. Jenna said, I can't believe that Jill is so out of touch. And we're going to talk about that part. So let's go to the park. So when she leaves her brother, she decides that this is going to be her next move and call Jill behind Billy's back and pretty much badmouth him, talking about how bad he's screwing up, that he's hired Phyllis, and that I believe he's going to destroy the company, and how Victor Newman is coming after Chancellor. However, she failed to remember to tell Jill that she gave proprietary information to Victor Newman to do what he plans to do. So I find that very interesting that Lily decided to keep that tidbit of information from Jill, that just 2 seconds ago she was actually helping Victor come after her son. Now I'm going to drop the mic on that one. I wish I had my sound effects. I would have had an explosive sound. Yeah. So you kept that. You didn't say that, right? You left that information out. You want to go run tell Jill. And Jill is like, oh my God, I didn't know all this was going on. I've been focused on my health. And here's the thing. Lily counted on that. Because what that tells me is Billy didn't tell his mother not only that he fired Lily, but the fact that she betrayed him. He kept that a secret. He didn't want to burden his mom. He was like, look, we fired you. We gave you a severance check. Why won't you just take your check and go, take your ball and go home, and me and Phyllis will worry about this. I hope this blows up in her face. I hope that when Jill heads back to town, which I think in tomorrow's episode, Jill plans to give Billy an ultimatum, and a lot of us who watched the day before, we probably will see it later today. But I'm like, I hope somebody tells Jill that she took Odyssey 7 and gave the details to Victor Newman. There's no way Jill in her right mind would be okay with that. That's crazy. Bree said Lily cried to Jill and left out all of the mess she fed to Victor. Jill won't fire her son for Lily. If she was so special, Jill would have handed Lily control of Chancellor instead of Billy. Absolutely correct. Facts. Jan says Lily run to tattle to Jill. Ugh. But leaves out her betrayal while she's at it. Disgusting. Exactly. Yeah, she left all that information out of there. So that's going to blow up in her face too. And I can't wait till Jill finds that out. That she took that information and gave it to Victor, the same person who she tells Jill is coming after her son. She left that out conveniently. Listen, Jenna, I hope she's not that stupid. I hope Jill can actually see what's really going on here. And honestly, I would be okay to see what Phyllis and Billy can do. I really would be. And then the way she framed it is if Chance got kicked out by Billy. Chance left on his own. Plus, he's back on the force. Does Jill know that? That man don't want to be in corporate world. He even said that over the past several months. And business is kind of like, being a police officer and how things are run. But it ain't like he just fired Chance. Billy gave him options. And Chance was like, well, I don't want to stick around for this. He quit. Chance quit and went back to the force. So don't try to throw Chance into this whole thing as if, he kicked Chance to the curb. Chance left on his own. Hey, Belinda. Melissa Spencer says somebody should report Lily to the FBI on what she did is illegal. I mean, her and Kyle are in the same boat, technically. Kyle stole information to give it to Victor, and Lily took proprietary information and gave it to Victor for Abbott Chancellor. So Kyle and Lily is in the same boat. Lily's in the same boat with a couple people. She's in the same boat with Audra because she wasn't smart enough to outsmart Victor. And then she's in the same boat with Kyle for stealing corporate information and giving it to another company. So, yeah. All right, moving on. Diane and Jack. Diane just want to pick a fight. Diane just wants to argue. Diane is just trying to figure out any and everything to be mad about. If you're not happy there, ma'am, K your butt, as we say in the South, K your butt back to L.A. I mean, they use a different word. They don't say but. But they said, carry your butt back to LA. You don't want to be dealing with Jax. And your son, you got issues with him. Nobody in town except Michael, who's using you for Victor, wants to be bothered with you. So if everything is irritating you about the company and Jack and Kyle and everything else, pack your bags. Jack filed for a divorce and kick her out and send her back to LA. I mean, ain't no sense to her sitting around being mad and complaining. And then you call Michael to vent to him. Now, a lot of people are thinking that maybe Diane. What you say, Jenna, did y'all catch that? Who is Diane in cahoots with? Diane lied about everything. LaShanta said, I'm over Diane. They can't prove Lily stole anything. Who is that? Who said that? Oh, Janine. Yep. But anyway, Diane need to go back to town. Go back to LA. Everything is getting on your nerves in Genoa City. You ain't got no friends here except Michael. And Michael's working for Victor. And I don't know if you feeding him information or if this is all a setup, leaving the computer open, making a scene at the GCAC, and then purposely meeting up with Michael for whatever reason. I mean, if you are trying to take down Jabot, you know you're going to alienate yourself again. You don't have any friends in town, ma'am. And if you're going to get a divorce from Jack, then leave the man alone and give him some peace. Because can't nobody deal with somebody that every time you say something, you got to find a way to get mad and offended about it. And take everything personally, like everything got to do with you. That man loves his son. Now, Kyle has done some horrible things. He's being a brat. He stole information. But Jack also understands that that's still his son at the end of the day. You, my dear Diane, it seems like, and like Sandra just said, Diane is up to no good. Either you got an agenda or you just that disconnected that it's okay to just drop kick your son because you already been disconnected from him from a decade. So why not? After a year and a half, he get on your nerves, you just treat him like the neighbor down the street. I don't have to deal with him. That ain't how that work, ma'am. Bree said Diane will gladly leave Jack alone, but not his money. Exactly. She want that money. But that's his fault. Again, we had this conversation on Friday on our late night chat that this is all coming back to Jack. Jack should have nipped this thing in the bud back in the spring. When both Diane and Kyle asked him to intervene, can you help us with this problem? He said, no, I'm going to let the two of you figure it out. Well, you know what? That's what you get, Jack. So like I said, I gave all three of them accountability. All of them. So, you know what? I mean, whatever happens, happens. She wants that power too. Exactly, Jenna. Diane has Michael in her corner. Jacqueline, yeah, but at the same time, I think he's simping for Victor too. He's simping hard to get back in Victor's good graces. So I think his loyalty is heavier on Victor Newman's side over Diane. This man is willing to put his whole life on the line. I mean, he covered up several crimes, including kidnapping and all that other stuff with Jordan. And Michael tried to clean it up, and Victor says, you betrayed me, and he's still trying to get back in Victor's good graces. Yeah, his loyalty is more with Victor, not Diane. And then we had another scene before we moved over to Bold between Billy and Sally. Okay, whatever. I'm not even interested in this couple myself. I'm like, it was obvious this is what they were going to do. That they were going to eventually put these two together. Especially they walked in the park and ran into Adam and Chelsea, who was happy about what happened with Connor. And Sally is like, oh my God, we used to be like that. We used to finish each other's sentences. I'm like, girl, please. All four of them has swapped and cheated with other people. They got together that way. So, I really wasn't too, I'm not a fan of this whole thing with Sally and Billy. It is what it is to me. I'm not excited about it. Bree said Michael was fired months ago and still trying to prove himself to Victor. He is pitiful. Exactly. I agree. Jacqueline says I prefer Billy with Phyllis and Sally with Chance. That would be interesting. But the problem is, him and Summer then got boring to me. We were all excited about Chance and Summer last year. And now they're absolutely just a non-factor. Yeah, I agree, Gail. Sally and Billy need to move on with their lives. Billy and Sally, yes, up next is boring. Put us to sleep. Exactly, TA. So that's what we pretty much had. It was a pretty good episode. If I was to grade it, because they got on my nerves today, and Lily and Audra got their comeuppance on themselves, I'll give it a B+. Let me know your grades down in the comment section. Let me see what y'all got. Let me see what y'all give this episode. I gave it a B+. Okay, I see C's, B's. What else y'all gave it? Chelsea and Adam has all, and they will be. They got a kid together, Chance was interesting with Sharon. You think so, Sandra? B-, C, B. Okay. It was pretty good. I like the fact that we've been waiting for Audra and Lily to get egg on their face. So that's why I gave it a B+. Bree said Chance and Summer will break up shortly after he locks up her brother. Ain't that a truth? That's going to be interesting, Bree. And then that'll leave Chance free, single as a Pringle. Don't like anyone enjoying the end of a marriage. What else we got? I love Chance and Sharon. That scene in the back closet was pretty nice, especially when I think that was pretty hot, but they did. I even had to do my own edits to it, but it was pretty decent. All right, let's move on to Bold, y'all. Let's move on to Bold. Okay, so it looked like we only had 2 storylines today. Normally it's a 3 storyliner, you know what I mean? But today it was 2 storylines, and the first one we'll start off with Hope and Carter. They were kissing, and then Steffy walked in, and they ran away from each other, and she was like, what's going on in here? And Steffy, of course, thought that that Hope was trying to pitch her line. Well, she was trying to pitch something, but it wasn't her line. Or should I say Carter was trying to pitch something, and they weren't talking about their line. But anyway, they made the spoiler out to be as if Carter was going to, and maybe I'm looking at the wrong day. And you're right, daycare with the kids. Steffy was being nosy. It was like, girl, mind your own business. If it ain't got nothing to do with the job, you ain't got nothing to do with what they doing. Leave Carter alone. But she come up in there and they got this whole conversation about stopping the fighting between, fighting over Ridge and fighting over Liam. And it starts with us, and we don't have to do it. She threw Finn in her face, and Hope is like, look, I'm over that. Shoot, I got another big, over 6 feet, 6-pack attorney, the COO of the company, interested in me. I ain't thinking about Finn the simp. Let Finn simp over you because you his wife. She ain't thinking about him, Steffi. Let it go. We've let it go. We thought it was stupid in the first place. But we have let it go, and I think you should let it go. But anyway, it didn't, she couldn't stop herself for saying anything about Finn. But they have this conversation about their mom and how they both love Ridge and whether Taylor respects the relationship between Ridge and Brooke. And Steffi was like, well, I hope Brooke understand that Ridge would always love my mother. And I don't think, and Hope is like, I don't think your mom is going to interfere with with my mom's relationship. And I'm like, you know what? After 30 years, both these ladies need to take several seats when it comes to Ridge Forrester. Ridge is playing two in the middle. He's enjoying all of the attention that he's getting from both Brooke and Taylor. Now, granted, he got kids with both ladies. He need to be in the position that Liam is in right now. Liam has been single without anybody to run to, unless it's Ivy next week. But he hasn't been able to run back and forth between these two ladies in almost 2 years. And honestly, I think Ridge might need to be put on ice while both these ladies find somebody else to be with. But no, they give us this triangle all over again. Yeah. So, they're saying that maybe they can follow our example. We went through it with Liam, and now Liam is a non-factor. I've moved on. You got married to Finn. And maybe our mothers will take our example. Yeah, okay. Good luck with that. Now, that, what Melissa Spencer says, I think Taylor is using her heart condition to manipulate Ridge. She can tell Steffi, and she can help her with her therapy. She don't need Ridge to hold her hand. He's the problem. Taylor will get worse. I agree with that. I don't understand. That's why with this whole thing, if he's the trigger, why is he the breakthrough? I guess if you face the trigger head on, but maybe that's what they're trying to do. You know how they say you got to face your fear in order to get past it? I don't know if that's what they're trying to do. But anyway, this whole thing with the chakra healer and sitting on his lap and straddling him, there is no way. And listen, I am not here to disrespect any spiritual healers, any chakra healers. I don't even want to speak against any of those things because, sometimes things you speak into the universe, I understand it. But in the literal sense of things, if you're trying to get over a man, having that man put his hands and rest it on your chest where your heart is, where is also your chesticles, and then telling you to sit on his lap and straddle him, which is a very sensual position to be in. I don't know if that would help. I would think that would encourage you to be even more attracted. But I don't know if that's something that'll be able to help you break away from the man that you think broke your heart. And this was his idea. Now, see, that's the thing. It's not like Taylor said, hey, I got this chakra healer. I want to try it. And the chakra healer said that I need you here to help me get through this to, break this thing over my broken heart syndrome, right? However, the way that they set up the storyline is that this was all his idea because she was skeptical. She was like, I don't believe it will work. Why are we doing this? I don't know. Exactly, Bree. Bree says, I am confused how being pelvis to pelvis with Ridge was supposed to help her. Yep. So I do understand how it can work, but I don't know. It gets kind of tantric. And so for those who might understand what tantra is, and I won't go into details, and I hope YouTube don't flag that word, it can kind of cross over into that realm. You know what I mean? Well, Jenna, we don't know if she's never done chakra. So I don't want to say, that's why I said I don't want to disrespect anybody in here. We don't know who is a chakra healer, who hasn't done it, who has done it. All I'm saying is that physically you can build a connection off of that. But it was interesting that Brooke came in because she's been sitting around watching the whole thing with the chakra healer and everything, and she's automatically assuming that she's using this broken heart syndrome as shut up, Dewan. I'm not gonna go down and explain. Go look it up. Anyway, she's peeping around corners. Brooke is looking through windows, through doors. She sat outside that door all that time. And then the thing is, here's my issue with Brooke. Instead of coming knocking on the front door, you slide open the kitchen door and just walk yourself in the house. I mean, you just walk yourself in the house. She just walked on in. I'm like, dang, you just go slide the door open and walk yourself into somebody's house? At least go to the door and knock. And say, hey, I saw everything that's going on here. First of all, you look like a stalker. Second of all, the audacity to just slide somebody's door open and walk in. Now, that I agree with you on, Jenna, is why didn't she confront Ridge? She saw Ridge leave the house. Why don't you go have this conversation with him? He was a willing participant, as somebody said in the comment section. Who said that? Bree. He was a willing participant. So go ask your fiance, the love of your life, the one that took you to Rome, and ask him, why was Taylor sitting on your lap? And why were you holding your hand against her chest? And why were you hugging and crying on each other? Go ask him that. She's not in a relationship with you. He is. So maybe that's who you need to have a conversation with. And if I was Taylor and we don't know what's going to happen on Tuesday's episode, I would be like, you know what? I'm not having this conversation with you. I just told you why he was here. If you want to know why he participated in this, go talk to him. He brought that person to the house. That was not my idea. That was his idea. So yeah, go talk to your fiance about that. Don't come up in my daughter's house through her window talking about you was standing outside being a stalker and you want to accuse me of trying to steal your boyfriend. Man, girl, go on somewhere with that, Brooke. Go. Take several seats because you're talking to the wrong person. TA said Brooke might cause Taylor to get upset. That's what I said last week. I said, what if she caused her to get upset and then boom, she passed out? And Ridge is going to be pissed. Yep. You talking to the wrong person, ma'am. If you look at the picture above Brooke's head on the screen. So on the right side, the third picture up beneath Steffy, Hope, and Carter. Not only was she sitting on his lap, but he's pulling her in close as his arms are wrapped around her lower back. It's not like she was jumping on top of him and he was like, no, don't do that. Can we do a different position, chakra teacher? Maybe this is something that she needs to do with herself. No, he was a willing participant. And granted, I know Jenna was saying that, he was the target of why her broken heart. Okay. But she need to talk to him too. You just can't come and blame her for all of this. Brooke told Eric she's not insecure but wants to blame the woman. Brooke had a car. She needed to follow him and question him. Yeah, that's what she should have did. She should have stopped him outside the house and like, what was going on in there? I'll tell, because, hey, Taylor did tell Ridge she don't want to keep it a secret anymore. So he would have been more than happy to have that conversation with Brooke to explain why he was doing it. But no, she wants to sit up there and jump in Taylor's face. Now, could this be possibly Taylor using this? Of course. I'm not going to absolve Taylor completely, but this whole chakra healer idea was Ridge's idea. It wasn't Taylor's. So, I mean, she needed to go and check and talk to Ridge. Stop jumping in. And again, I didn't like the fact that you just walked through Steffi's kitchen like you own the place. You don't live there. And you were stalking on a private moment. Now, granted, I can understand Brooke got questions. I don't want to discount that. But she need to go take that up with Ridge. Hey, Jay Money is in the building. What's up, Jay? Jay said, I get she can make Taylor upset, but I'm sorry, Brooke doesn't have to allow her to wrap her legs around her man. Brooke has every right to confront her if she gets upset. But here's the thing, Jay. She should have confronted Ridge first. She's in a relationship with him. He owes her an explanation first. Why were you there? Why did you wrap your arms around this woman straddled across from you? Why was your hand on her heart? Why were you shedding tears and crying with her? I need to know this from you. He owes Brooke that, not Taylor at this moment. The first priority should have been a Brooke going to Ridge and asking him, what was that? Because talking to Taylor isn't going to do anything but escalate the situation. Go talk to him. He started it. And that's your man. You in a relationship with him. You need to go talk to him first. Brooke has to confront Ridge, not Taylor. That's what I was just saying. Yeah, I mean, Ridge said the chakra idea was Dr. Buckingham's idea. Yeah, but he introduced it. Taylor had no clue what this was about. I mean, he could get ideas from Dr. Buckingham, from Lee, from the internet, from anywhere else. He was the one that brought it over without her even knowing anything about it and said, let's do this. If Dr. Buckingham recommended that, Dr. Buckingham should have technically called the patient. And the patient is Taylor. Dr. Buckingham should have said, I think maybe you should try this. And then leave it up to Taylor to move forward with what she wants to do. But no, Ridge got his yoga clothes on, his black t-shirt, some jogging pants. He brought a whole duffel bag in the house to get all set up with pillows and whatnot. He found the chakra teacher. That's on him. He the one initiated the contact. And so now Brooke want to get mad at Taylor as if she did this. That was him. And she needs to go talk to her man about that problem. Go talk to him. That's my thoughts on that. Jenna said, I think the real person is Brooke. She needs a shrink. Girl, you silly. LaShanta said, that's why Brooke wants to be fake friends. Exactly. Jenna said, why did Ridge cry? That was a good question. That was very, very interesting. Why did he shed tears? Jenna says, Ridge knows that he's the heart of Taylor's hurt. I agree. But it's interesting how he also brought up Phoebe at the end of this. So is it just him? Or was it also about Phoebe too? Because at the end of their conversation, he brought up, losing Phoebe. Bree said they just have to accept that they're sister wives. Brooke can have them on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Taylor can have them Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Girl, you are hilarious. You are hilarious. Maybe he got caught up in the process. Angela says that there's a lot of emotion in that room. Yeah, but, I'm curious. Because, see, when I saw that spoiler about Brooke, when we saw that preview or that promo where Brooke said, I saw you sitting on his lap, I knew it had to be something in the Monday episode, because it wasn't on Friday, and a lot of people were on soap social media was saying, oh, why is Brooke exaggerating? She can't be. Ridge wasn't sitting on she wasn't sitting on Ridge's lap. She's exaggerating. She's making up stuff. And part of me, I'm like, well, we got to take a look at Monday's episode. And sure enough, when I saw the chakra teacher tell Taylor to, straddle Ridge, I'm like, there it is. That's what she was seeing. Yeah, so sometimes we got to let the stuff play out. That was the first thing I thought of. I said, it's something in that Monday's episode that's triggering Brooke on why, she said Taylor was sitting on his lap, and we got to see it. Melissa said, this could be all about them losing Phoebe. It could be. I guess we'll have to see how they write out and play out the storyline. J Money said, I believe Ridge cried because he knows he's responsible for Taylor's pain and heartbreak. Why have they been bringing up Phoebe so much lately? Makes me wonder if we're going to find out she's alive. I don't even want to start that rumor, because I'm telling you, we'll have folks talking about, oh my God, what if they bring back Phoebe? That girl been gone a very long time. And I mean, it's possible, because on the soaps, people do come back. I mean, Adam Newman came back 4 times. Diane came back. I can't say Cassie came back, but she had a twin sister. And then we had Michelle Morgan playing both Hillary and, what's the other girl name? Oh, Lord. I think it started with an A. But, so they're always bringing folks back. Anything is possible. Bree said Brooke is triggered about any woman sitting in Ridge's lap that's not her. Girl, you crazy. You are funny. LaShanta said, people are always peeping in folks' windows. Yeah, you got folks stalking. There is no way Brooke should have been there. And if she didn't want this whole thing to play out, because what was she waiting around for? Why didn't you just say, hey, what's going on in here? You waited for the whole thing to play out. Ridge leave, who you should have confronted. Amanda. Thank you, Bree. Amanda and Michelle Morgan play Hillary and Amanda. So they've, brought lookalikes and doppelgangers back. But why didn't you just say, hey, what is going on in here? No, you sit around and watch the whole thing play out. What was you waiting for them? Were you waiting for them to go sleep with each other? Because technically they did not kiss each other. They didn't get, take off clothes. There was a third party in the room orchestrating all of this. She saw all of it. And the only thing that you can remember is the straddling of the girl on the legs. Now, granted, I can understand, because I think that was a little too close if you trying to get over a breakup, in my opinion. Or unless it's something else with Phoebe. But, yeah, I think Brooke, instead of, stalking, she needed to go and confront Ridge. So, yep. All right, you guys. I'm going to give this one, unusually, I'll give it a B today. What do you guys think about the Bold and the Beautiful episode today? Let me see what y'all thought. Look like y'all, a whole bunch of people came in here today. Y'all look forward to not having to talk to somebody over the weekend. So y'all enjoy the Monday lives, because we ain't talked all weekend since Friday night. Okay, so I see some C pluses. I see a C. I see a B. Angela gave it an A. DeJuan a B minus. Yeah, I gave it a B because I thought it was pretty interesting. Brooke gonna have to take several seats. I'm curious to see what's gonna happen next. Bree, you gave it a C. Taylor hasn't straddled a man in a long time. She was happy to feel anything. Girl, you so funny. Belinda gave it a C plus. So yeah, it was I gave both Young and the Restless and Bold pretty decent grades today. Audra and Lily and Diane, all three of them need to take several seats. Diane need to take a seat in LA. Audra need not to take a seat on that bed, but obviously she wanted some eggplant from Nate, and Nate simped really hard to get the box. And as for Lily, you keeping secrets from Jill is going to blow up in your face. You're going to end up with egg all over your face. You know what I'm saying? And as for Bold, Brooke, go track down Ridge, because he should be the one to answer all your questions. And as for Steffy, Hope, and Carter, Steffy, you need to stop being so nosy and mind your own business. And we'll see what happened with Carter and Hope, because according to the spoilers for October 18th, which is Friday, it looks like maybe we should be getting a romantic night between Carter and Hope. So I'm hoping that we can really get to see the chemistry between those two on Friday, and whether or not they can hit the bar that both Thomas and Hope set back in 2023. All right, make sure you hit the like button on the way out. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you're notified every time a video has been posted. I am T from Soap Corner Talk, and until the next one, we'll see you guys later. Bye, Soapies.